So then there was yesterday. So yesterday, I played Sebastian Heredia Zuleika, who was rated 1133, who I also lost to with the white pieces. But it was a close game, and I did not feel bad about it. I got into the end game, and really the game went pretty well until one critical mistake, one critical error, where I think I would have at least drawn the game had I not made the critical error, and then I still could have won or drawn the game had I known how to convert end games, but I don't. So we'll go through this one fairly quick because it's a long game. It was like 58 moves, and most of them are pretty standard. It was an open Sicilian. Why do we lose audio? Okay. Sorry. Pretty standard open Sicilian stuff. Accelerated dragon. I played this move, which I don't usually play. It's not the worst move, but it's totally fine. USCF rating, yeah. Here, he plays here. And then I played a huge blunder, and he missed my huge blunder. This was another idea of like, I did something in the game that I don't ever do in real life. Ever. I went after his bishop. And somehow I didn't understand that, like, if he just went here, I go here, and he wins a piece. And not only does he win a piece, but like now I have to retreat all the way back. This game is over. So luckily, he misses it. At this point, I see it, and as quickly as I can, I take this bishop. Because I'm like, oh my god, what did I do? I got away with it. Fuck. Halfway through him thinking, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to find it. Oh my god, he's going to find it. Oh my god, he's going to find it. He didn't find it. I'm like, fuck, thank God. I blundered a piece. Jesus Christ. Okay. So we bring our queen up. And I really wanted to get into a position where I could make some moves with my knight. I wanted to get my knight maybe into here. But I wanted to be in a position where he couldn't come here and threaten my queen if I moved my knight up here. I wanted to move my knight up here to kick this queen out. And I was afraid that, you know, if I went here, he would take a pawn, and we'd both be staring at each other, but he'd be up a pawn. So, now, granted, it doesn't make any sense, because if I go here, I'm threatening a rook, and if he goes here, he's not threatening anything from there. But again, this comes down to just not having a whole lot of experience. Yeah, we talked after the game, and he was like, as soon as I entered my stuff into the thing, I was like, oh my god, how did I miss that? And I was like, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh my god, what did I do? He was like, oh my god. So, anyway, that was my thinking. He kind of surprised me and went there. I wasn't sure why. And I felt like I wanted to defend my bishop in case of this. And I wanted to make sure that I had all my avenues covered all the way across the board. He did go like this with his bishop, and I decided that I was just going to castle. And I feel like what I should have done, looking at this, was push. Was like push. That's what I would do now, looking at this. I mean, I guess he can go over here, but I'm not really scared of that. At least it gets this out, and it might bring him back here, which then, like, whatever the bishop. But who cares? I castled. I figured it was time to castle. He takes, and I take. So that's fine. Moves over here. Totally okay with this. F4 is my best move. I played F4. Really happy with that. It works. And now I'm starting to look at this pin. And I'm like, okay, we have... Like, we can go here and force this knight off. And, like, start taking pawns. We're in good position. I was feeling really good. So I play it. He plays back. I take. All good moves. He takes. And now I kind of froze. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So I played this to try and get like another... My idea was to get, you know, another attacker on this pawn. And he played this move, which, you know, was kind of frustrating. Not what I expected. But, you know, basically if I take, if I took here, he's going to take here with check. That's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be over here. Or I take back and take back. Like, I just started feeling uncomfortable about it. Now, the game is telling me that this is the best move, right? I didn't do that, but I played a good move. I was okay with this move. It didn't really change the status of things, but it did give him the opportunity to push this pawn, which I didn't really like. And he did push the pawn. So that was frustrating. And I just went back here thinking, okay, so now we can attack the pawn again. And that's kind of just all I was focused on. Attack this pawn. I'm sure there's other things I could have done, but I just wanted to attack the pawn. He, of course, defends the pawn. So I stop the pawn and attack the queen. I'm like, well, fine. You want to defend the pawn? Like, you want to keep pushing with the pawn? Fine. He takes. I take. He gets back into that position, and I double the rooks. And now I'm thinking, again, okay, how do I get an advantage here? He goes here, and he's going to double the rooks, so that I can never take this pawn. And I start thinking, how do I, with tempo, create a situation where I can take this pawn? And I think I was on the right track. Because what I wanted to do, again, we now have the same, like we're going back to having, we have the right instinct, and then we play the wrong thing. My thought is, if I go here, right, if he trades, I take, it kicks this knight to wherever, who knows where it goes, and now we can take this pawn, right? And now we're defending this pawn. We can get behind it. Like, we can do all kinds of things, right? Life is good. And I think, like, what if I go like this, and he goes like this? I don't know why I was worried about that. I can just take, and he takes, and it's no big deal. That's not the end of the world, right? There's so many options at this point. And so my thought became, okay, if I push this pawn, and he moves back here, right? I can take, I'll take, and then I'll push again. Now he's got to move his horse. Once he moves his horse, then I have this pawn. I don't know why that felt better to me. And I don't know why, again, I missed the queen-knight duo. But I decided to push this pawn. And he just said, oh, thanks for the pawn. And I was like, well, fuck. Now I don't want to take that. Because if I take that, he's going to get his horse here. And these are, like, undefendable. So I got really pissed. And ultimately, like, this was also hanging. Kind of-ish. Not really, but in a way. Like, there was ways to make it hang. So I'm like, okay, Now I'm going to do the thing that I was going to do originally, which is crazy. And I thought, hey, maybe this will work out better. Maybe this will just work out better this way. But the reason it doesn't work out better this way is because then when he does this, I can't take his queen, which forces him to take back and like allows me to take, right? So then I'm like, okay, I need to trade this queen. So I move over, and my thought again still is like, okay, he takes, I take, he's got to move his knight. And he was just like, yeah, but you can also do that. So after all of these roundabout maneuvers, I'm now in the same position I was here, except his rook is now out and his h-pawn is pushed. Just so much worse for me. So I trade anyway, because what am I going to do? And I push this because I don't want to lose it for free. Now, for some reason, I push this pawn, even though I'm like, I can take this pawn anytime I want. Like, I can take this pawn like this. What? I can finally take the pawn. I mean, yes, he gets a pawn, but like, this isn't going to stop him from taking a pawn. So anyway, I push. I expect him to go here. And I'm thinking about him going here. Because that was really scary. Or no, I'm expecting him to go here. Which one? I forget. Which one does he do? Yeah. No, I'm expecting him to go here because this just made more sense. It's defending this and it's attacking this. And if I ever pick this up, right, he has options to go like up here and threaten this knight or this rook, which makes me move. And then he can come down here and check me. So like, I was like, okay, this is the clearly better option. So I'm thinking about how to stop this. And he does that, which I didn't expect at all. And I was like, well, okay, this actually isn't bad for me. So I go get under his knight. Yeah, I mean, I think this was the better position. That it wanted him to go there. And then he takes, and all I'm thinking is, wait, he just trapped his knight. I'm just double and triple calculating, right? I'm like, okay, well, when I go down, right, if he goes up, I'm going to have to, if I take, he's going to have this check, and it's going to be very awkward. So I'm going to have to move this knight down. So I go down, and he goes like this, which makes it easy for me. And we are dead even right now. He takes, I take. Feels good. He goes over here. He's obviously going to start pushing these pawns. I take here. He takes, I take. Okay, and we're 0.3. And at this point, I'm like, I lose this game 100%. Because I do not know how to convert endgames. So my one thought, I had two thoughts. One thought was go here. Like go here, because he's going to like probably push here. And then like push here, right? And I'm going to try and just like stop myself in the middle. And go here. Pin this so I can't kick my knight. Take. And then come back and start checking this king, right? With everything I've got, slow him down, sack the bishop, bring my king over, right? Start doing stuff. And my other thought was a really dumb passive defensive move. So I start with this anyway. He goes here, which is all what I expected, right? I expect him to go here. I was going to pin this one so that when he moves this, I go like this. Or if he goes like this, I was thinking I even just take. I just sack for that because this is pinned, and now I can bring my king over, right? I would never go like this, by the way. That's obviously stupid. And my brain goes, let's do this and be super ultra passive. Which apparently is a dead draw, but I have no idea how to draw this. So he goes there, I go there. Now we're not pinned. He goes there. I still have the opportunity to pin him and just sack. Just sack. I go over here, which is a terrible move for so many different reasons. He kicks this knight, obviously, because that's the obvious thing he's going to do. I come over here, which is a bad move. I come here, finally bringing my king. I come here, but it's just too little too late. I don't do anything wrong at this point, but there's no way to stop. This was wrong. But it didn't matter. We tried. And at this point, we resign. So, lesson learned. Again, follow my instinct. Queen here, I probably would have drawn or won this game. Also, don't be so passive. If I would have brought my rook up here and pinned that pawn and had my knight sit there, I probably would have drawn or won this game. I would have taken both of these pawns, and this pawn would have pushed here. I would have sacked my knight for it. I would have brought my king over and stopped it. And I would have this rook here to fucking come in and help save the day. And then I could just start pushing. And I think I would have won this game. But I didn't. But I was not mad, okay? I made 2 mistakes. One in the endgame, which I expect to make endgame mistakes, because I know I'm not good in the endgame. And 2, one in the middle game, where I just miscalculated. It's just a simple miscalculation. I didn't follow my instincts, but it was a simple miscalculation. Other than that, I played pretty well against 11-something. You know, it is what it is. I did the best I could. That was game 3.